Happy Friday, friends. Today's parable, also from the Gospel of Luke, is another very familiar one to you. It's a good one to do kind of a live action telling of. I'm not going to do that today. I'm not. Just you'll know the story. You'll be like, oh, okay, I get that. So here you go. I will show you what someone who comes to me and hears my words and acts on them. That one is like a man building a house who dug deeply and laid a foundation on rock. And when the flood arose and the river burst against the house, but could not shake it because it had been well built. But the one who hears and does not act is like a man who built a house on ground without a foundation. When the river burst against it, it immediately fell, and great was the ruin of that house. This comes back to the discussion we've been having about how we live our lives. Are we prepared? Are we ready? Are we doing what we can? Are we persistent in our faith? Are we willing to find ways to do new and old and find moderation in all things and all this kind of thing? You know, we do this building idea, right? You want a firm foundation. We even have a hymn called How Firm a Foundation, right? You wouldn't build a shed at your house without a foundation because it'd fall over. Well, duh. So how do you build that foundation? How are you that wise builder who digs deep and lays a good foundation? Because you can build a foundation poorly and have the same effect as having no foundation at all. Right? That's just how it works. So what things do you do to build your foundation? Are you building your foundation through prayer, through engaging the scriptures, through living as a Christian in your acts and your life and your deeds? Are you doing your best to build that foundation of love and kindness and compassion and grace? Or are you just slapping it together last minute because you know that's what you're supposed to do? So here's a little thing that sticks in my head. Unlike when you build a house, if you do a poor job building your house and you have a bad foundation from the get-go, it is immensely difficult and costly to fix errors on that scale once it's done. However, you're not actually a house or a shed or a barn, whatever it happens to be. And your foundation can be adjusted. It takes a lot of hard work. So maybe you find yourself saying, the foundation I'm on is not great. What can I do? Well, dig deep. You have to do that hard interior work for yourself. You have to look and evaluate and say, yep, this part of my foundation is garbage and it's got to go. This other part of my foundation, though, this is worth saving. This is the gold, as it were. Get rid of the rest and I'll build on that good part. The beauty is, because of God's graciousness and great love, you can redo that foundation whenever. You're not stuck having that foundation you've had. That's the beauty of how amazing God's love is. God will say to you, yeah, I'm glad you recognized your foundation wasn't great, but guess what? Start over. We got time. I'll be here with you. I'll help you. I hope as we go into this weekend, you can look at all the ways that your foundation, whether it be this church family, it may be the family you grew up in, it may be that you have some foundational work to do because of the family you grew up in, right? Whatever it happens to be, that you know how deeply loved you are and that you have time and you have support to dig deep and build that foundation. So when the rains come, when the river bursts, that you will not be washed away and instead will be enfolded in the arms of God. Talk to you all soon. Have a great weekend.